Okay folks, this is the third part of what we're doing to get ready for this nor'easter storm. This is just a basic generator that we bought from one of those big box home improvement stores a few years ago. It doesn't do everything. I can't run 220 volt appliances on it. It's not that strong, but I didn't invest in a larger one. But what this will do, and what it has done for me in the past, is it will keep things like freezers or refrigerators cold if you need them for a couple days if you lose power. I can run a few lights. I can make sure that my computer's plugged in. I think we even at one point were able to sit and watch a movie with the DVD player and the TV running through the generator just one evening when we were without power for a few days. So having a generator like this is also an essential of living in the country, because you're more prone to lose power, I think, when you're out in the country with the overhead wires that may run for miles, between the wind knocking them out or trees falling on them, or just even the occasional person that may crash into a pole. You could be without power for many hours. Some people have whole house generators, and if you can afford something like that, more power to you, that it would automatically kick in when the electricity goes out. I believe many of them are propane powered, so you'd have a propane tank there of propane gas that's filled and ready to go. Farmers also have generators that hook up to the tractor that run off the power take off of the tractor. My son has something like that, and that's a bit more powerful than this. Of course, he can run his whole house on if he needs to. But one of the things I do with this generator is, even if I'm not using it, I have to run it maybe 10-15 minutes every few months just to keep the fuel lines fresh. One of the terrible problems with ethanol in the gasoline is it just eats any kind of plastic fuel line parts in any kind of engine. They don't talk about that on TV with the ethanol lobby, but that's one of the downsides. Even though I put Sta-Bil in this gas, which is supposed to eliminate ethanol and keep it from breaking down the fuel, I still don't trust that. So every few months I do run the generator just to make sure that it's still in running condition, so that if I do run out of power, I'm not stuck. That happened to me a number of years ago. This was almost brand new. Put gas in, let it sit for a few months, and then a hurricane came through. We were living in a different place. The whole town was without power for 3 days. And unfortunately, this generator just would not start. I spent a couple hours on the phone with the manufacturer via my cell phone, sitting in the car to keep the cell phone running from the car battery. And finally, what I ended up doing was they had to send me a new carburetor because the old one was destroyed by the ethanol. So I didn't want that to happen again. So this seems to be working, that if I run it a few times throughout the year, 4 or 5 times throughout the year, even if I don't use it, and keep Sta-Bil in the gas, then I'm okay. I also don't keep it full until I'm sure I'm going to need it. There's some gas in it now, but if the power does go out tomorrow, then I'll fill the tank so that it can run for an extended period of time. But if I don't need to have the tank full, it's less to have to worry about. So again, if you can, get yourself a generator if you live out in the country, because this can be very important during times of bad weather. As I said, now this one has some plugs there, as you can see, to plug into. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit for you. But it does not, it won't take a 220 volt line. So I can't run some things off of it. I can't run electric heat off of it. I can't run a well pump off of it. I can't run a dryer off of it. But I can run 110 volt appliances, which is good enough to get you through to salvage food in the freezer, or to work lights, or even the blower on my wood stove to help the circulation, the convection of the heat through the house. So this is important to have, and it's one of those things you have to put on your needs list when you live out in the country. So this will be ready to go tomorrow if I need it, but hopefully this nor'easter won't have quite as much wind with it as the last one we had, so maybe we won't lose power and I won't need it, but at least it's here if I do. All right, thank you for watching.